Hello YouTube, this is Willie. I've got a quick question for you today. Do I perhaps have the world's largest Lonely Planet collection? Now before we answer that question, or attempt to answer it, I just want to put a disclaimer out there. I'm not getting paid by Lonely Planet to promote their products, and I'm also not affiliated or associated with them in any way. Without any further ado, let's have a look here at my collection. And there it is, that's only the top part. You can see it goes down and down and down and down right there to the end. What I've done is I've ordered them alphabetically, starting with A, with Afghanistan. Here you can see all the A's and the B's and the C's and every single letter of the alphabet. So we started at Afghanistan. Here you can see countries and regions and cities of the world. Let me know in the comments if you can see yours. And this last one is actually quite tricky to get to, because it's right at the bottom, but it ends with Zimbabwe, Botswana and Namibia. It ends with the Z's if you're American, or the Z's if you're from other parts of the world. And while we're at the Z's and the Z's, this is actually a good moment just to highlight what a wonderful thing this is to collect. Because look at Zambia, for example. You got a separate book on Zambia, but then you also have a combination of Zambia and Malawi. And you also, not just do you have a combination about Zambia and Malawi, but you can also pick up the one that adds Mozambique. So you've got Zambia, Mozambique and Malawi. How wonderful is that? And then if you look at the H books here, let's look at Hong Kong. So you have Hong Kong, then you have Hong Kong and Macau, Hong Kong, Macau and Canton, and then also Hong Kong, Macau and Guangzhou. Let's look at the Ethiopia here. You've got Ethiopia and Djibouti. You've got Ethiopia and Eritrea. So no one really knows how big the collection is. This is why it's such a wonderful thing to collect. Now I get asked two questions about my collection on a regular basis. The first one is, have you been to all these places? And the answer is unfortunately no. But to add to that, the answer is also I haven't been there yet. So they're all aspirational. I want to go everywhere and go to as many of these places as I can. Whether or not that would be possible, we'll see in due course, but I'm certainly going to give it a good shot. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, please do so, because you can join me on these wonderful adventures to some absolutely brilliant places. And the world is genuinely our oyster. We will give it a good crack. And then the second question is, how much have I paid for my collection? Now, I honestly don't know how much I've paid for it, but it hasn't broken the bank, believe it or not. What I tend to do is I buy them second-hand from the charity shops or any other sort of markets that sell second-hand books, and I pick them up for really cheap. Now, a lot of people ask me, well, what's the point on that, you know? Don't the information go out of hand? And the answer to that is yes and no. Yes, information about things like hotels and coffee shops and best beaches to visit, of course they go out of date. But things like the history and key facts about the country, they often don't go out of date. Certainly the history stays the same. Unless new historical events happen in due course, but then you will be able to read about that in the news. You don't need to read about it in the book specifically. But as a collection, I'm quite proud of it, if I can say so myself. What you also have, apart from the blue Bibles, which they're also known as, you've got bespoke books about language and culture, and the phrase books of various parts of the world. And then you also, of course, Lonely Planet brings up bespoke books about sort of walking or hiking books, trips that you can do. There's a small encounter series, which I've only got a few of, simply because I'm running out of space. And then there's the pocket books as well, which they do, as well as other ad hoc editions such as travel photography and gap years, etc, etc. Do you think I've got the world's biggest collection? Do you know of anyone who's got a bigger collection? Well, let me know. Happy to have a discussion and to share some memories from all these places as well. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, like I said, please hit that subscribe button. Thanks for watching my videos, and I'll see you again soon.